Yeah, I wanted to make a public record request. I want to inspect and photograph the rental slip agreement for slip number 28.
You want to do what now?
I wanted to make a public records request to inspect and photograph the rental agreement for slip 28. Hey, how are you?
Hi, how can I help you?
Yeah, I wanted to make a public records request to inspect and photograph the rental agreement for slip 28.
To inspect the rental agreement?
Yeah, I want to inspect and photograph it, just to make a public records request.
I'm not exactly sure because it has private information on it already. For a specific slip?
There's something exempt on there?
What do you mean exempt? Exactly.
Well, it's a public record. It's a public record.
Right, but I think with the city you'd have to go through a certain process in order to.
Do you have the rental agreement here?
We do have the agreement.
Yeah, just let me take a look at it, photograph it, it'll be over here.
Can't do that.
Why not?
Because I'm not allowed to show you records of our customers.
Yeah, actually, you're required by law to do it.
But you'd have to take certain steps. Tell you what, let me
If you want, I tell you what, do this. Why don't you call the city clerk? And
No, I could. The marina's manager.
Yeah, great.
Easy.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You would have to file a public records request.
I just did.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, when I come in and ask you to make a public records request, that's making a public records request. There's no magic incantation. I don't have to make it in writing. All I have to do is let the person who has the record know with enough specificity what it is I'm asking for. That's it.
Good morning. My name is Steve, and I'm the manager of the marina.
Great.
Public records requests need to go through our Department of Communications.
You all have the record here, right?
I do.
I don't need to go to anybody else.
Okay. Well, I've been told and instructed otherwise, so I'm not able to provide you with that record at this time.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you call the city clerk and let her know that Joel Chandler's here, and I think she'll disabuse you of that information.
Okay.
I'll wait.
I'm not going to provide you with that information.
Why don't you call the city clerk?
Because I'm right in the middle of something else.
Well, why don't you call the city attorney? I mean, look, it's real simple. I'm making a public records request.
Okay.
You're obliged, if you have custody of the record, to allow me to inspect and photograph it. If you don't, then you're creating a liability for the city.
Okay.
So instead of us doing that, why don't you make a quick phone call? They'll explain to you that you do in fact have to show me the record, and I'll be out of your hair.
I'll give you my business card, and you can make your phone calls, and then have the law department, the city clerk, the office of communication instruct me to turn the document over to you.
The problem is, by the time that happens, you guys are going to be sued for violation of public records.
Sir, you also have to keep in mind you can't film or record people without their direct permission. Otherwise, you're violating a federal law.
Actually, that isn't true.
I suggest that you...
That isn't true.
Are you filming or recording me right now?
Absolutely, because I have a statutory right to photograph public records, and I'm here to make a public records request.
There's my card.
Look, do yourself a favor, do the city a favor, and call the city clerk. Tell her Joel Chandler's here.
Mr. Chandler, you don't have my permission or authorization to film or record this conversation.
I don't need it.
Okay.
I don't need it.
I'd like to ask you to leave, please.
that you have to follow.
No, because I'm here to make a public records request. And if you guys want to ratchet things up and have me trespass or whatever you want to do, knock yourself out. I'm telling you.
I think we'll have to do that, Mr. Chandler, unfortunately.
If you could sit out front for me, please, I'll get the police and we'll get you out of the building.
Okay, before you do that, I'm inviting you one last time. Contact the city clerk, tell her Joel Chandler's here, or contact the city attorney.
Please have a seat out front and I'll get the police.